Hello there, RC here. I'm going to do a video on income and wartime income and peacetime income and starting IPP and all that stuff. So let's just start off here with the Japanese sheet. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. Now, as you can see, you got on the Japanese national sheet on the very front page at the top, you're going to have 36 scenario, 39 scenario. So you pick the one you want. I'm going to just show you the 36. 39 is basically the same deal, right? But you can figure that out. All right. So starting income, that's what you start with, right? So that's how much money you get at the bank, turn one. Income tracker, that's that little board on the wall that's got different numbers from 1 to I think it's 120, and that's where you put your roundel on, whichever one you happen to be making that much money. And then your wartime income is the total value of land zones that you own. And it would be your starting total to reach that wartime income amount. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here. That's a bit of a weird angle. Now, if I zoom in, let's see. You can see there's a 2 here. There's a 2 there. What has Tokyo got here? I gotta move stuff around. Tokyo's got another 2, right? So you add all those up, and if you add that up for the Japanese in the starting scenario, their wartime income equals 16. That's the ones that got a Japanese roundel on it, and then that red number printed on the map. So that's their wartime income or full income, maximum income, right? They can make more money by conquering something and taking it over, but their home country, as per the map, they're at full income. Now, if you take a peek here at the U.S. sheet, there we go. Let's just zoom that in a little bit. You'll notice that their starting income is 6. Income tracker starts at 6. And their wartime income, same thing, total value of land zones is 63. Right? So there's a serious difference between this and their wartime income. Now, there's a reason for this change here. And anybody who's currently living in this global pandemic of COVID-19 will understand the change in productions, flipping production from a vehicle manufacturer into ventilators, or breweries are making hand sanitizer, stuff like that. That's what this signifies, the change in the total mobilization of every factor of industry, the recruitment, armaments, everything. That's what this stands for here. All right, so it's very similar to what's going on here now, only instead of disease related, it's war related. All right, so there's certain ways that you can increase your income, and you'll be able to find those in your reference sheets here. There'll be peacetime bonuses and wartime bonuses. I already did videos on alignment and whatever, so let's take a peek at this one here. So peacetime bonuses for the U.S. here, right? You got one here. That's plus D12 per turn, right? So it says per turn, right? Some of them say each time, and if it doesn't say anything, it's a one-shot deal. All right? So don't assume that Japan declares war on China, and then the next turn Japan attacks China again, and keep doing that, right? Declaration of war is specific in the rule book there. It means exactly that. You're initiating or declaring the war. All right. So that's a big difference on some of the stuff, like this one here. Japan declares war on British Commonwealth or France. 5D12, right? But Japan has to start this. If the British or the French attack Japan, you can scratch this right off your list. You're not going to get it. All right. So sometimes that's something to do, but I mean, we're just worried about the incomes here, right? So these are peacetime incomes, And once you reach that wartime income I was showing you of 63, these stop. You don't keep going, right? If you need 10 more and you roll 5d12 and it adds up to 50, the US stops at 63, right? They don't go to 103. Okay, so these have a limit too, right? Once you've used them all up, once you've used it, it's either each time, right? So that's each ship, or one time only, right? A declaration of war happens once. You never turn war off. Once it starts, it stays on. So you're not declaring war the second turn you attack. All right, little things like that. There's also going to be wartime bonuses. Here's one. The U.S. is easy. It only has one. Possession of all U.S. home country, right? And it'll describe home country on your national sheet here. It'll describe what's home country, who you can declare war on and when, all that other stuff. But this one's just about income, right? So there you go. And really for income, you spend your money here, right? Turn one of the phase, or turn phase, starting, you're spending money to repair them. You spend money to buy something to Lend-Lease or allocate money to Lend-Lease. Research technology used to cost money, but now you'd have to repair your factory so that you could research from it. And then you buy whatever units you're going to put on the end of your turn, right? And then you do your combats and combat moves and non-combat moves. And then at the very end here, you place your units and you collect your income. So this is important to know, right? That way, let's use Japan for an example. Actually, let's use the US for an example, because their roundels are closer. All right. So the US, let's say they're at 63, and then they take Formosa away from the Japanese. That's +2. So now they're at 65, plus their 12 bonus, right? So 77, right? Instead of the 75 they were making. Makes a big difference, right? And if you attack it on this turn and you own it at the end of the turn, you get to still collect that money. All right, so good to know, unless there's something in the rules that specifically says you can't, and that may occasionally happen. All right, so that's basically it on income. There's peacetime bonuses. These ones here, for someone who's like the US starts at 6 and needs to work up to 63, theirs are geared towards that mostly. Japan does have a peacetime bonus. Where's this Japanese oil thing? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's just zoom that in a bit so you can read it. US oil trade, right? So it's +$3 a turn. And then it's got a stipulation here, reduced by 1 each turn that Japan makes a combat move into a land zone. So that's each turn, right? So you can do 1 combat move or 100. It's all in the same turn. It only reduces this by 1. So it goes from 3 to 2. All right? So that's fairly basic. Japan also has a wartime bonus income. There we go. I'm just going to move you a bit. All right, so there's Japan's wartime bonuses. It'll be possession of certain places. It's got them all listed off. Plus $2 each, so that means that Borneo is worth 2, and Java is worth 2 for 4, 6, 8, right? And then 10. So if they have all 5 of these places, that's 10 extra bucks, because it's 2 each, right? Then you have this other one here, a few more islands for another 3, so that's 10. And 3, oh, we're at 13, and then what do we got? In China, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, so 13. That's $18 in bonuses, plus the 16 they're already making, plus the face value of these places they've taken over. That can add up, right? It doesn't take long to get $50 or $100 or whatever in income if you're rolling forward with taking stuff over. Anyhow, so that's wartime bonuses, peacetime bonuses, right? You can't collect wartime bonuses unless you're at war with a major power. And you can't collect peacetime bonuses if you're at war with a major power, right? Because if, say, Japan attacks the U.S. and it goes to war, because it's been attacked, it'll automatically mobilize itself and go to full income. It'll jump right from 6 to 63 because it got attacked. You don't have to do all that rolling and looking for specific things. When Japan attacks the U.S., even if it's down at the bottom on turn 1 at $6, it jumps immediately to 63. And when it reaches that income, it can do certain things, right? And that you'll find that sometimes income dictates what you're allowed to do and when. What do you got? You got a nice example of it right here on the U.S. sheet. Right? At income of 15, so it starts at 6. When it reaches 15, it can close the Panama Canal, and it can start lend leasing. So until it reaches this much money, it can't lend lease yet. Can't even do that. And this is what it has to make on the income tracker. All right? When it reaches 35, it can move ships around and do it. At 50, it can do something else. And at 63, it's at may declare war, may move ships between the Atlantic and Pacific. So you need to be at full income before you can move the boats up here to the other side of the map, or the other way around, right? It makes a major difference. So anyway, there you go, income. It's printed on the map in red numbers on a nice square mark, just like that, and that. And there'll be a roundel there, right? This is a Dutch roundel in their income. FEC roundel, their income. This one's Dutch, their income. All right? So it's relatively simple. And you just got to rub my thing. Hey there, bud? Okay, I guess that's a good sign to say I'm done. So income is IPP. In case you're wondering, it's shown on these markers on the map. Yes, pistachio. And yeah, just knocking my stuff around. And when you reach your full income, you're now at what the game calls wartime income, which is the same as what your roundels are printed on the map for your starting game setup or scenario. All right, RC here saying see you later and enjoy your game.